Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yes, we're in front of that angry wall. This was sent to me a little while ago. Just checked my email for the first time in like 2 hours, 3 hours. Needed a break. But the ATF has sent an open letter to all federal firearms licensees, and they're talking about what they're going to do for those people who have forced reset style triggers. I'm going to jump into this. I'll put it on the screen as I read it. You might be angry enough to find your own angry wall after this one. Here we go. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives recently examined devices commonly known as forced reset triggers, FRTs, and has determined that some of them are firearms and machine guns as defined in the National Firearms Act and machine guns as defined in the Gun Control Act. These particular FRTs are being marketed as replacement triggers for AR-type firearms. Unlike traditional triggers and binary triggers, sometimes referred to generally as FRTs, the subject FRTs do not require shooters to pull, then subsequently release the trigger to fire a second shot. That's a lie. Instead, these FRTs utilize the firing cycle to eliminate the need for the shooter to release the trigger before a second shot is fired. By contrast, some aftermarket triggers have similar components but also incorporate a disconnector or similar feature to ensure that the trigger must be released before a second shot may be fired and may not be machine guns. I've already did a video, I'm going to link it above, where the ATF lied to law enforcement in their letter that went out to law enforcement, a bulletin about this. This is coming out today. But they lied. They changed the definition of a machine gun, and they're doing it again here. And they don't have the ability to do that because they're not elected to Congress, and they're the ones who make the changes to the law. I'll continue. Both the NFA and GCA regulate machine guns. Machine gun is defined under 26 U.S.C. 5845 Bravo and 18 U.S.C. 921 Alpha 23 as any weapon which shoots, is designed to shoot, or can be readily restored to shoot automatically more than one shot without manual reloading by a single function of the trigger, not single pull. The term shall also include the frame or receiver of any such weapon, any part designed and intended solely and exclusively, or combination of parts designed and intended for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun, and any combination of parts from which a machine gun can be assembled if such parts are in the possession or under the control of a person. Emphasis added. ATF's examination found that some FRT devices allow a firearm to automatically expel more than one shot with a single continuous pull of the trigger. For this reason, ATF has concluded that FRTs that function in this way are a combination of parts designed and intended for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun, and hence, ATF has classified these devices as a machine gun as defined by the NFA and GCA. Accordingly, ATF's position is that any FRT that allows a firearm to automatically expel more than one shot with a single continuous pull of the trigger is a machine gun, and is accordingly subject to the Gun Control Act prohibitions regarding the possession, transfer, and transport of machine guns under 18 U.S.C. 922-0 and 922-A-4. They are also subject to registration, transfer, taxation, and possession restrictions under the NFA, see 26 U.S.C. 5841 and 5861, and 27 CFR 479.101. Under 26 U.S.C. 5871, any person who violates or fails to comply with the provisions of the NFA may be fined up to $10,000 per violation and is subject to imprisonment for a term of up to 10 years. Further, pursuant to 22 U.S.C. 5872, any machine gun possessed or transferred in violation of the NFA is subject to seizure and forfeiture. Under 18 U.S.C. 924 Alpha 2, any person who violates Section 922 Oscar may be sent to prison for up to 10 years and fined up to $250,000 per person or $500,000 per organization. Based on ATF's determination that the FRTs that function as described above are machine guns under the NFA and GCA, ATF intends to take appropriate remedial action with respect to sellers and possessors of these devices. Current possessors of these devices are encouraged to contact ATF for further guidance on how they may divest possession. If you are uncertain Whether the device you possess is a machine gun, as defined by the GCA and NFA, please contact your local ATF field office and incriminate yourself. You may consult the local ATF office's webpage for office contact information. This was sent to all FFLs by Alfonso Hughes, the Assistant Director of Enforcement Programs and Services, and George Lauder, the Assistant Director of Field Operations. So they're telling you straight up that some FRTs are considered machine guns, and the law enforcement bulletin that went out says all FRTs are machine guns. And if you have one of these, they are going to come after you, according to this letter. Non-transferable machine gun, meaning you shouldn't have it because you can't get it transferred to you. You didn't pay your $200 tax for the NFA, and you're in possession of a machine gun that you legally can't own. Sure, it'd be nice to have a lawsuit dropped on these assholes right now, I think. What do you think? Maybe it's just me. But I would strongly recommend, like I did before in the last video about FRTs, if you have one of these devices and you purchase them in good faith because they were absolutely legal and you purchased them through whatever distributor and they were absolutely legal and it was legal to own until they got a hair across their ass, ATF, I would contact an attorney and see what they recommend for you to do. Now, these are lawful items. If you know how it functions in FRT, it forces the reset of the trigger, which means it's more than one function of the trigger. You pull the trigger, gun goes bang. As it cycles, it forces the reset. That's a second function of the trigger. But ATF thinks that they're smarter than us, because they're a bunch of pencil pushers. Let me know what you think down below. If you're an FFL, you should have gotten this today. You should have received this today. And if you guys and gals happen to have one of these, again, check with an attorney because the ATF is about to go on a bigger power push. Again, this is an area where I know more than I can say at the moment until some things come to fruition. But you're going to want to pay attention to this one. Guys and gals, thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every single one of you way more than you know. I apologize for 2 videos back to back, but I thought this was important to get out right now. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, yourself, your family, your community safe, because that's what the Second Amendment is for. That's the only thing it's for. Take care.